The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey everybody, and welcome to today's version, or this week's version, of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we hear what the mayors and supervisors from our coverage area tell us. So this week we're going to be starting off with John Moffett from the town of Mendon. John, what's cooking in Mendon?
Hi, Chris. Glad to see everybody's off to the new year. I know everyone is struggling with some of the new COVID type of news and regulations and what's changed and what hasn't changed. And we get a lot of information from the federal government, the state, the county, and it's ever changing. So we're trying to stay on top of that. We are, as far as I know, maybe Rick can maybe Rick can elaborate on this, but we are expecting some supplies for our residents in the fairly near future, as I understand it. And I also want to congratulate our new county legislator / mayor, Rick Milne, on his successful election to the county legislature, excuse me. So as soon as we receive those items from the county, we will very quickly make them available to residents in some form and some way. I'm not exactly sure. It's a little tough to do an outdoor handout this time of year. We never know what's going to happen with the weather, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out quick. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the town and county tax bills hit this week. And everyone probably, unless you're escrowed and that goes to your bank, you probably received it in the mail this week. So we did have a reduction in our town tax rate. So I picked an example here of a town outside the village resident where the tax rate went from 266 to 239. That was our reduction. So this particular one, which is in the Boughton Hill area, went from a $565 town tax bill to a $511 tax bill, $511 tax bill, which is a reduction of a little over $53. So happy that people are seeing a reduction. Obviously, if you put an addition on your house or put in a swimming pool or did something to cause your assessment to go up, you're not going to see a reduction. Or if you lost an exemption in some fashion, you may not see a reduction, but everyone should see a reduction. They're in their town tax portion. And generally, from what I've seen, even though there was a little fluctuation with the county rate, that the overall bill should have gone down for everyone. The other thing I wanted to mention is the highway department, weather permitting. And when I say weather permitting, I mean if it's not snowing, freezing rain, or any of the other types of precipitation that we receive around here, they'll be out picking up the holiday Christmas trees up through the middle of January. And that's about it from the town of Mendon. So I'm always happy to hear my fellow elected officials in the upcoming segments. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, John. Next over to Mike Falk, Lima Supervisor. And Mike, you can tell us what's going on in Livingston County too.
Sure thing, Chris. Happy New Year all. Yes, we are collecting taxes. There's a drop box, there's the clerk window, there's the mail. However you would like to get them to us. The volume has been quite high so far this year. Some good news. The Family Dollar store, where the supermarket used to be, is open. The grand opening is going on right now. Stop in and check out the new Family Dollar and see what sorts of things they have to offer inside. The K&K stripping building on Buell Ave in Lima, which Buell, the intersection of Buell is right across the street from the town hall. That building, of course, a toxic Superfund site. The building is no more. The Livingston County Land Bank Corporation arranged to have the building removed, and that was accomplished last month. Now we're waiting on the DEC to come in with their contractor and remove all of the toxic soil. The lot will be restored, and then it will revert to current zoning, which instead of being commercial will be residential. New York State DOT has got their final verdict on the intersection of routes 5 and 20, Bragg and Doran. The preponderance of the accidents are caused by westbound traffic, and the collisions are at 90 degrees. The state proposes to reduce the speed in both directions, oversized signage, some other modifications, and along with a resculpting of the Bragg Street approach to reduce the accidents there. This work will be taking place in 2022, and we're all excited to see that. So while my name is the official complainant on the form to the DOT, without magnification, it would have gone nowhere. And so a thank you to Elizabeth Parmalee, a Lima resident who spearheaded the online petition, and to everyone who signed it. Your voices made a huge difference. Thank you to Assemblywoman Marge Burns, who really advocated for this change. And thanks also to Senator Patrick Gallivan, who lent his support too. You can thank those representatives personally by sending them an email. It is Burns M, that's BYRNES-M at newyorkassembly.gov, that's nyassembly.gov. For Marge, or use the nysenate.gov website to send a message directly to Senator Gallivan. And of course, the other person who played a very important role in this was our representative on the Livingston County Traffic Safety Board, which is Bruce Mayer. Bruce's term was ending on the town board, and sadly he did pass away just before Christmas. So he's not here to see the fruits of his labor. But he did arrange for a bunch of sort of the middle things between the Sheriff's Department and the DOT to get the accident data and all that. So we do miss Bruce. Lastly, Livingston County was allocated to get about 25,000 test kits and a sort of matching component of KN95 masks. Then we were informed by New York State that it was a decimal point error in their spreadsheet. And so we actually received 2,500 test kits and some masks. Instead of it being a very large distribution by all the fire companies, it became a very small distribution by all of the townships. And our distribution was the morning of Friday the 7th. And we distributed our 150 test kits and the 1,000 masks very quickly. So there are no more supplies. If and when new ones become available, we will let the public know again, and we will continue to distribute what comes in. And that's all I've got, Chris.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Jerry, Town of Rush, what's going on there?
Well, we've got a lot going on there, but I won't take up too much time because I like to hear what the other supervisors have to say. So let me go through my list pretty quickly. I happen to be very concerned about the increase in COVID cases going around, not only in Rush, but all across Western New York. It scares the bejeebies out of me because I hear that people who have been vaccinated with a booster can get COVID also. And I don't want it again. I've had it, don't want it, don't need it. So I'm masking up all the time. The only place I don't wear a mask is when I go to bed. But I do pull a sheet up over my head, so that gives me some added protection. So I hope that people will get tested. I hope people will get vaccinated. I hope people will get their booster, and let's try to beat this thing before it beats us. That leads me into COVID supplies. Mike just covered that quite well. I don't think that only happened in Livingston County, but it's happened in Monroe County in some cases. And we right now are waiting for supplies, test kits, and masks, I understand. And when we get those supplies replenished, we will send a message out to the community so people can come and or we'll distribute, or people can come and get their supplies. And hopefully this will be part of us beating that disease back. I'd like to let people know that we have an organization meeting on January 12th. It will be after the regular scheduled town board meeting, and it will provide residents with the names of all the people who will hold positions that you can deal with for the next year. Along with that will come the announcement that we have a new law firm and we have a new engineering firm. And the law firm is Boylan Code and the engineering firm is MRB Group. The weather. I saw a snowstorm that came through here about 10:30. That scared me almost as much as the COVID. The good news is it didn't last 3 minutes, but during the first 2 minutes, it was a concern. I'd also like to identify our 2 new town board members, Dan Chase. People probably know Dan mostly from being a owner of Chase Farms, and Jean Morelli. And Jean Morelli is a CPA. She'll have a lot of value to add to the town board. She's a financial wizard. She's also a financial advisor. Also want to mention that, I keep hearing all of my fellow supervisors on this show talking about all their venues for food and drink and et cetera, and I always cover my head up with a sheet because I don't have a lot to add in that department. But the Creekside Restaurant, some people know it as a hotel, some people know it as a Creekside beer joint. Whatever you know it by, they are starting to serve breakfast from 6:30 a.m. till 11 a.m. every day of the week except Sunday. I haven't gotten there yet because of the COVID concern, but I'm told by people who have gone there that it's an excellent breakfast. And I can't wait to get over there and take my share of what they offer. I'd like to also congratulate Rick Milne and let him know that he promised me that he would help me get water for the town of Rush if he got elected. So I'm not forgetting that. And I look forward to working with Rick more than anything, but if he can help get the water, I'll even like it even more. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. And in perfect timing, it's time for Rick Milne. And I guess, brother, can you spare a dime for a cup of water? Rick, what's going on in Honeoye Falls as well as Monroe County?
Well, Chris, I've got to either try to jump on these calls a little bit later or much earlier, but to follow Jerry is just, I don't know. I don't know how I get to be the lucky guy to do that. Jerry, what I promised you was that I would bring you a case of polar water. I didn't your Old Town water. But I'm looking forward to working with you, Jerry, as well. And thank you. And thanks, John, for your comments. It has been a very interesting time, and I have to agree with everyone. I always enjoy these calls because everybody's got some great information to offer. And Mike, I'm glad that that intersection is being taken care of, and certainly our condolences to you and your whole team with Bruce's passing, because he certainly was a stalwart in the Lima community and in the whole HFL community. So we all will miss him. The village of Honeoye Falls is doing well overall. We continue to wade through this virus issue. We actually currently have 2 employee or board members, mixture, if you will, quarantined. Our staff continues to remain vigilant in trying to keep safe, and but it doesn't matter, as Jerry said, whether you're vaccinated or not, we all know that you can still get it. And so people just have to do the best they can, and just try to be as safe as they can. The village and its committees we're going to continue to monitor this, but we expect to move to a fully remote meeting for a short time. I think our village board meeting this month will go to fully remote, and I'm going to ask our committees to meet remotely as well. And we're hoping that it'll just be through the next few weeks, and hopefully in February we'll come back to a mixed hybrid type meeting. But with a couple of employee or staff members out, we just think it's going to be the right thing to do. And we all keep seeing the numbers going up and up and up. So that's probably where we're going. The village is beginning its budget process for the upcoming 2022-2023 budget year. As budget workshops are scheduled, we will post those dates, as the public is always allowed to sit in and listen, and we welcome that. Quite honestly, we don't generally have too many people show up at our budget meetings, at our workshops. But, we always try to say that we're as transparent and as much as an open book as we can be. So if you're interested in sitting in, please watch our village website and Facebook page and the Sentinel for those scheduled dates. And again, if we can have them open to the public, and if we're not doing any kind of remote meeting, certainly we would welcome people. I am setting up meetings with our state and federal elected officials to discuss financial support needed for village projects. This will include roadway, infrastructure, and emergency services projects. I expect these meetings to begin taking place in February. Obviously, some will be remote, but I'm trying to meet directly with our elected officials locally, and traveling to Albany if need be, and I will travel to Washington if need be as well. We've got a couple of major projects that we need help on, and we're going to do what we can to get federal and state support. I am also going to the supervisor's position, or excuse me, the legislator's position, if you will. I am starting to set up meetings with our local supervisors and mayors. I want to kick off my support as a county legislator, and I'll be reaching out to all of you that I'm directly representing in the next couple weeks. And I'm looking forward to that. Our village staff is indeed picking up Christmas trees as well, holiday trees. People are getting those out to the road, so we've started that process as well. And like John said, as long as the weather is conducive to that, otherwise we have to take care of the roads as best we can. And then lastly, we do continue to hand out the remaining COVID test kits that we had. We're almost out. The town is out and they're sending people over to the village hall. But we've got another box or so left. So they'll be done probably by the end of today or Monday at the latest, I would think. I have reached out to our county executive requesting more for our residents. The county supposedly has about 500,000 on order, and I'd like to be able to provide more than one box per family. That's been a struggle for, at least for our team, as we have been told clearly from the county originally that we had enough to hand out, or we could hand out one box per family. Whether you have one person or five in your family, they got one box. And then we see other municipalities or county areas handing out multiple boxes per family. And it just, you know, we're not all doing the same thing, and that becomes a bit of a struggle. So I have reached out to the county executive asking for a much larger quantity so that we can hand out more than one box per family, and hopefully that's going to happen. So we'll keep an eye on that. And as John said, don't know how we'll get them out, whether it's through fire departments like Mike was talking about, or a mass handout at the community center and in the hamlet of Mendon again, and at our fire hall. We'll do whatever we have to do to get them out. And we're looking forward to helping our residents that way. So with that, I appreciate the opportunity. It's great to see everyone. Hope you all continue to be healthy and safe. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Rick. And now the best for last, Eileen, Scottsville. How are we doing in Scottsville? Oh, unmute.
I know, have to remember. We're doing fine in Scottsville. Let me just reiterate some of the things that my fellow mayors and supervisors have said in terms of COVID. It's important that we mask up, get our vaccinations. As we get more supplies, we will inform the community and let them know where they can pick up these supplies. Our test kits went quickly. We have people coming in asking for them, and we do not have any more at this time. We've gotten some N95 masks, but we will keep everyone up to date on when we get supplies and where they can pick them up. The other thing I want to say is congratulations to Rick Mill on his election to the county legislature. I know you're not our legislator, but I know you'll do good things for everyone in this area. So all the best to you. I want to wish everyone a happy new year and hope your new year has started off well. We keep our fingers crossed that the year will just keep getting better. Our next board meeting is this Tuesday, January 11th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. in the municipal building. All visitors are required to wear masks if attending, and social distancing will be observed. So as Rick has said, we are taking it a meeting at a time to see if we need to go remote again, and we will do so if the need comes up. A public hearing will be held at this board meeting at 7 p.m. to consider local law 1-2022, amending chapter 162.13b1, article 3, stopping, standing, parking as follows. 2-hour parking on the south side of Beckwith Avenue from a point 100 feet west of the west wall of the Thomas J. Connor School to a point 100 feet east of the east wall of such school, except where otherwise prohibited. This will follow along with the other 2-hour parking signs that we have in some locations in the village. Also at that meeting, immediately following the public hearing, Deputy Chris Chambry of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office Crime Prevention Unit will be talking to the community. He will address the recent break-ins and the National Neighborhood Watch program. This is a program done by neighborhoods and it requires volunteers. So please be thinking about volunteering for your neighborhood, be the point person for your neighborhood. Please come to the meeting and get some more information from Deputy Chambry about this program. Our village clerk will be taking a well-deserved vacation, January 17th to the 21st. And this necessitates a change in office hours that week. Monday is a holiday, and the office will be closed on Tuesday, January 18th. Office hours on Wednesday, January 19th, and Thursday, January 20th will be 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. And on Friday, January 21st, 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. Thank you for your cooperation. The village general election will be held on Tuesday, March 15th, 2022 at the Senior Center in the Municipal Building. The mayor's seat and 2 trustee seats are open. So if you're thinking about getting into local government, this is the time to get those petitions done. The first budget workshop will be held on Tuesday, January 18th, 2022 at 6 p.m. The workshops are open meetings and all visitors are required to wear masks and to socially distance. And that's about all I have for this week. And thank you for this opportunity, and I wish everyone a good week.
Thank you very much, Eileen. Anybody have anything they may have forgotten to mention that they want to add? Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, Chris, thank you. And Eileen just reminded me about this. As most people know, our village board meetings in Honeoye Falls are generally the third Monday of the month, but with the holidays, Martin Luther King Day in January and President's Day in February, we move those meetings to the Tuesday of that week. So our January meeting will be on the 18th at 7 p.m. And on February 22nd at 7 p.m. So just wanted to mention that for the upcoming meetings. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Anybody else? Seeing no one, want to thank you again for participating in this week's episode of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. And we thank you out there in the audience for watching us and giving us all those great comments that I know you do. Thank you for that. Remember, if you want to see us, you can see us every Sunday at 1 o'clock, either on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. Like the page or subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll be automatically informed when the show appears. That's it for now. Bye-bye for now. We'll see you next week.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.